Hey everybody, it's Mr. Collins here. I'm going to try to help you out with a DeltaMath assignment this week called Exponential Growth and Decay. And in particular, what I'd like to do is just focus on the first couple sections. I think you have 5 problems in each of them. Exponential functions basic, and then find the growth and decay percentage. And I actually stole a couple problems from DeltaMath. I thought I'd just work through them with you. And again, if I go too fast, just pause the video, rewind. If you think you know what you're doing, try to work it out while you hit pause, and then see if my answer and your answer match up, okay? All right, so in this first one, it says we're placing $9,000 in an account with an annual interest rate of 7.75%. How much will be in the account after 18 years? First of all, if you find an account that gets 7.75% growth per year, let me know about it so I can, retire shortly and I don't have to keep doing this. That being said, let's look at how exponential growth works. First of all, we're going to give you kind of this basic formula to use for these exponential growth. You could use f of t. You could just use y if you'd like. Really doesn't matter to me. You have some initial amount. I'm going to call it a. And then you're going to, right here, your base is going to be 1 plus r, 1 plus your growth rate. And the power, the exponent, is t. So your variable is up here. That's what makes it exponential. Okay, your t is what's your unknown. You're going to see in all of these, whether you're talking about exponential growth or decay, everything's dependent upon time. So generally we use t. You could use x. That's our kind of variable we like to use in algebra, but we tend to use t just for that reason. Incidentally, other teachers may do this differently. You may see something like this: y equals ab to the t. Really the same thing. I just kind of I kind of split up the growth rate. It's 1 plus your percentage. Okay, so let's do some plugging in here. My function is a. That's my starting amount or my initial amount. That's that $9,000, right? Also called your principal. So, if you're strictly talking about money, that A might be a P, right? It really depends on what kind of class you're in, an algebra class or an economics class. So just getting you ready for college, you'll have the same formula, probably with different letters. And then we have 1 plus R. Now my growth rate is 7.75%, but guess what? We have to change that to a decimal. And of course, how do you change a percentage to a decimal? You got to move the decimal 2 to the left. So 7.75% is actually 0.0775. So it's 1 plus 0.0775. My variable is t for time. And of course, I can kind of clean up the parentheses by adding the 1. I think a lot of people, after you do 1 or 2 problems, you usually just skip that step. So here's your function that relates, your initial amount, $9,000, and the number of years, and it tells you how much you'll have after so many years. Finally, what do we want? We want to plug in 18. All right, so I want f of 18, which just means plug 18 in. So it's 9,000. 1.0775 to the 18th power. Again, this is the first time you're just going to put that in the calculator just as is. Don't forget to get a power. It's going to be that up caret 18. That's what it's going to be on your TI-84. And when you jam that in there, I think they wanted to the nearest cent. So you're going to be up to 34,494.79. Again, that's a lot of money, but again, 7.75 is a tremendous growth rate financially, and 18 years is an awfully long time, right? If you're a senior in high school 18 years goes by, you're 36, 37, which sounds ridiculous, right? So that was exponential growth. Let's look at one more that's exponential decay. And again, I stole a problem right off. Hey, maybe you'll be lucky enough to get this one in your problem set. This time they're looking at chemistry or maybe physics, probably chemistry. An element with a mass of 730 grams decays by 27.6% per minute, which means what? About every minute it loses about a quarter of what it is, right? So how much is remaining after 12 minutes? So if it loses a quarter of itself every minute, after 12 minutes, probably not much left. But again, we're going to have the same formula we had last time, which was f of t. My starting amount, instead of money, it's going to be that 730 grams, right? My initial amount. My growth rate up above was 1 plus r for growth. For decay, it's a 1 minus r. So really the same formula, but when you're decaying, that's a negative. I draw an arrow there. And the variable is still time, and it's up top as a power because it's exponential. And again, we could just plug in, rather than coming up with the equation, why don't we just jam in all the information we have? Because what do we want? We want to know after 12 minutes. So that means t equals 12, or I'm plugging 12 in for t. So what's my amount? It's 730 grams. 1 minus r is 1 minus 27.6. I got to get that growth rate. Remember, probably the easiest way to screw this up is to not change that to a decimal. So make sure, move that decimal place 2 to the left. That's 0.276. So it's 1 minus 0.276 to the, what are we talking about? 12 minutes here, right? We're plugging in 12. You could just jam that right into your calculator as is. And if you do that, you're going to have about 15 point, we don't even know what the element is, right? But maybe plutonium, although I don't think plutonium decays quite at that rate. In fact, it doesn't. 15.1 grams to the nearest tenth, right? Remember, you're going to be answering these on DeltaMath, so it's a computer. So it's really important to give it the answer the computer wants. Otherwise, it's going to mark it wrong, even if you do just about all the right work. Okay, so there you go. Exponential growth, that was exponential decay. And I'm going to help you at that other section, which is probably the easiest problem you can have. It says find growth decay percentage. And they give you an example, right? And then you have to identify whether it's a growth or decay problem and whether it's how much you decrease or increase by. And again, your growth rate is right there. And if you think about it, your growth rate is 0.05, which of course we have to change that back. They want it as a percentage. So now we got to move the decimal back 2 to the right. So that's 5. And the number, if you look at it, is just above 1. Anything above 1, right? If the base, oops, which is what this is greater than 1, we have growth, which is what this is. In fact, it's growth by 5%. So actually, I think on DeltaMath, there's a drop-down menu. You have to choose growth, and then you have to type in this 5%. I don't have another example, but I'll give you an example of decay, right? So if they said, what's a decay? I'll give you one quick example. It would be something like this. Y equals, pick your favorite number. I don't know, 12,000.97 to the t. Again, 0.97, this tells you whether you're growth or decay. You have to look at the base. That's less than 1. In fact, if you think about this, that's what 1 minus r is. So it's 3% less than 1. It's 0.03 less than 1. So that's less than 1. That's a decay. And the growth rate is 0.03, which is equal to 3%. So I'm going to be honest, when you work through, and I'm going to scroll up now, when you work through this DeltaMath problem set, there are 3 sections. This middle one's the easiest. You could probably knock those 5 problems out in about a minute and a half. And then you can go to this one. And I'll tackle this half-life and doubling time in another video. Okay? Good luck with all that, and keep social distancing.